station of Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Ohio.
Round one of this weekend AL Central bout went to the challenger thanks to a couple early jabs and a knockdown by Minnesota's Jorge Polanco in the second inning. Round two features a heavyweight and Indians ace Corey Kluber coming off a 9-round TKO of the Orioles. Hopefully the Tribe will answer the bell and land the first punch next on Sports Time Ohio. Today's Indians-Twins game here at Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, brought to you by Hankook Tires. And it will be a spectacular Saturday afternoon as the Indians try to bounce back and even things up against Minnesota. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. Minnesota, they played well. They got the win last night. It was not a well-played game for the Indians. Offensively, they just never were able to get anything going. When you look at Minnesota, they're a hard team to figure. Much like the Indians, a better team on the road. But their home road splits are even more drastic than Cleveland's.
Yeah, and when you look at the numbers, it all boils down to one thing: the pitching. They have a better one-run better ERA when they're on the road. That's why they're 21-9. You don't have to score as much, and they were last in the league as far as bullpen goes. But Detroit took them over in the last couple of days. So Minnesota, their rough bullpen. Their starters haven't been pitching very well, but that's the big difference between home and road for the Minnesota Twins.
Corey Kluber gets the ball today. Of all the things he's accomplished, this is one I find hard to believe. He has now set a franchise record. He has struck out at least 7 batters in 11 consecutive home starts. Not Bob Feller, not Sudden Sam, not El Tiante. Nobody's ever done that before Corey Kluber.
Well, and when you watch the way he has pitched since coming off the DL in his 4 starts, it's been lights out. The breaking ball has been spectacular. The left-handers he's going with a changeup to. He's locating his fastball. He's 4-0 at home. He's won 8 out of his last 9 starts against the Central Division. So Kluber's locked in. You look for a very good start from him today.
Yeah, in his 2 complete game shutouts, he's given up just 3 hits both times, and he has struck out a total of 20 batters in those games. We'll be back with the play-by-play. We'll check in with Andre. We'll hear from Alan Jensen. It's all straight ahead. Cleveland Indians baseball is brought to you by W.B. Mason, the official office supplier of the Cleveland Indians. By McDonald's, I'm loving it. By your local Toyota dealers. Visit buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Nature Stone, the only concrete solution.
Sunny Saturday afternoon for baseball, 75 degrees, perfect weather. Indians and Twins coming your way in just a few moments right here on Sports Time Ohio. Welcome back to center field. Al Pulowski, Jensen Lewis. Let's talk to you today about the showstopper. That is Whit Merrifield for the Kansas City Royals. Last night, the walk-off hit to win it for KC. Big ninth inning for Kansas City. And Jensen, a team you cannot sleep on this season.
No question, Al. Some history for Kansas City last night. They were 0-29 when trailing going into the ninth inning. You see them walk it off here. That's the first time ever the Royals have trailed by 3 or more runs with 2 outs in the ninth to come back and win on a 9-inning walk-off. They have played spectacular baseball for the past 2 to 3 weeks. They have trimmed their deficit in the American League Central. And Al, you're right. This is a team that you cannot take for granted, even though they've got those 3 big impending free agents.
Yeah, do you keep them or do you trade them? That's a question they're going to have to answer coming down the stretch here. All right, let's send it upstairs. Matt, Rick, and Andre have the call on today's game. And fellas, how about those Royals hanging around in the Central?
Well, obviously for Kansas City, you get back to 500, you feel pretty good about yourselves. They're still within striking distance, without a doubt. The team that's really going the other way, though, is the Detroit Tigers. They've lost 7 in a row. Shut out last night in San Diego, and you got to wonder about the future of that ball club as we approach the All-Star break. No one doubts the future of that man right there, Corey Kluber, off to another terrific start despite missing a month with the back issue. But since he has come back, it has been business as usual for Corey Kluber. And with more on that, let's go down to Andre Knott.
I was hoping you were talking about my career when you said that.
He was.
I didn't realize the picture wasn't on me. No, you're right. There's been no one that's been able to hit Corey Kluber since he's returned from the DL. Been one of the best pitchers in baseball. So I figured today we go over to the other side and ask someone that's caught Kluber in the past, how exactly do you hit him? I talked to the utility man, Chris Jimenez, in today's Hear Right Sounds of the Game.
The most important thing is to just get a ball on the plate. I mean, he's got so much movement in every different direction. You know, his breaking ball is one of the best, if not the best, in the big leagues right now. And you just really have to try to, in my opinion, you have to try to get to him early. You have to look on the outer part of the plate and up in the zone. And if you can get a pitch and try to square it up, you know, obviously, too, we're going to have some shadow issues here with this 4 o'clock game. So, I mean, it's not only is facing Kluber tough, it's itself just when you have the shadows mixed into it. Not that we're making any excuses or anything, but it definitely makes it a little more difficult.
Don't think the shadows will be an issue until we get maybe toward the middle innings, because we got nothing but beautiful clear sunshine right now.
Well, hey, Corey Kluber's tough enough to face. It doesn't matter night, day, you know, shadows or not. But he's right. You look for a pitch up. If you finally get one, you better hit it. Don't foul it off.
Well, Corey Kluber and the Indians take the field this afternoon, and we'll have a look at Paul Molitor's starting lineup for Minnesota, brought to you by Hankook Tires. Brian Dozier in the leadoff spot. Joe Mauer will bat second. Robbie Grossman is hitting third. After that, the Twins lineup that was originally put out today has changed dramatically. In fact, it has changed twice since the original lineup was posted. They've got some flu issues in their clubhouse. Kenny Vargas will bat cleanup. Eduardo Escobar is at third base and hitting fifth. Jorge Polanco is at shortstop batting sixth. Chris Jimenez was pressed into action, and he's going to play in the outfield today. Jason Castro will catch Byron Buxton, not in the original lineup, is now in center field hitting ninth.
And Corey Kluber, who has been pitching lights out, will be our Northern Ohio Honda starting pitcher for the Tribe today. His 11th start. He's coming off his 6th win of the season. He allowed 3 hits, no walks, a season-high 11 strikeouts in his 9-inning shutout against the Baltimore Orioles. And that's his 2nd shutout of the season. He retired 15 batters at one time in that ball game, and I don't think you can pitch any better than he did. And he's been pitching very well in the Central Division. He's been pitching very well at home. So you're expecting another good start from Corey today. Let's take a look at the defense, which is brought to you by Ram. And it stacks up this way. Jackson's in left, Zimmer in center, Chisenhall in right. It'll be Ramirez back at third, Lindor is at short, Kipnis at second, Santana is at first with Gomes doing the catching.
Larry Vanover, the crew chief, will call the balls and strikes. Chad Fairchild, David Rackley, Alfonso Marquez are on the bases. So for the Minnesota Twins, They're going to be without Miguel Sano, who's dealing with the flu. Eddie Rosario, who is also under the weather. And Max Kepler, he's not in the lineup after he fouled that ball off of his foot last night later in the game. And he's going to undergo further testing because obviously wasn't able to give it a go. So they are very thin.
Yes, they are.
Corey Kluber looks in. He's ready to go. And we are underway. First ball swinging. Dozier bounces it to Kipnis. Pulled him off the bag. And the call is safe. Santana couldn't get the tag on him as Dozier went to a terrific slide to avoid the tag. But the throw was a little errant there. And
yeah. Well, he's on the other side of the bag, and you see he gets down on the side, and that ball sails on him.
Actually, you know what?
Santana, I don't know why he came off the bag, but he was safe.
I was just going to say the same thing. That throw wasn't.
It wasn't as errant as it looked, but I'm sure they're going to put the error on Kipnis. But Santana jumped for whatever reason, thinking he had time to come off and tag him, and that's the time you go head first to first base. Exactly what he did.
I think he misread it more than anything.
Well, it's an error on Kipnis.
Not the way you want to start the game if you're the Indians, for sure. Dozier aboard. Here's Mauer. Low. The throw is there.
Well, let's see it. I mean, it may be up and away a little bit, but not to where he has to jump. I mean, he's not that short. Stay on the bag. He does that a lot where he feels he's going to get the runner, but if they stay it's upright, that's fine. He went in head first and tricked him.
Two-0 pitch. Catches the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Joe Mauer 1 for 4 last night.
If there's any guy you may want to put a hit and run on with, it will be with Kluber because he's around the plate so much.
It's low. 3 balls and a strike. Issued by Corey. That's only the 18th walk he's issued on the year in 65 innings of work. Today's storylines are brought to you by Wayside Furniture. Keep an eye on Corey Kluber's off-speed pitches and run support. Boy, when they get him 4, they're unbeatable.
Well, support and defensive support too. And on the first pitch of the game, there was an error involved, and then the walk. So an opportunity here for Minnesota in the first.
The error charged to Kipnis, but after looking at it, it was a ill-advised jump by Santana that created the miscue. So Kluber's got to work now with 2 on and nobody out here in the first. Robbie Grossman, switch hitter.
Corey, a guy though that can get the ground ball double play.
Line to right, base hit, down the line it goes. That's going to bring home Dozier. On his way to third is Mauer, and he'll stop there. Second and third for the Twins. They lead at 1-0. 3 batters into the game.
Well, you're going to see this pitch that Grossman hits down and in, and he lined it into the corner. Is it a cutter? Yeah, it's a breaking ball. It's down and in, and the lefties like it down there. He gets it to the wall. That allows Dozier to come around and score. And they have the inning set up. You can see the spin. So after the error, the walk, and now a double, that sets the first inning up for Minnesota.
And here's Kenny Vargas. Vargas was 0 for 4, struck out twice last night.
So after that first pitch where you should have had an out, he went right into the stretch, and now he's having problems throwing strikes for Corey Kluber.
Only 4 out of 10 have been strikes so far. And it gets away from Ramirez. Throw was in the dirt. Run will score, and into third goes Grossman.
I don't know if they can play any sloppier than they're playing right now here in the first inning. I can see a throw. They're trying to get Mauer at third base. Let's take a look at it. This should be a good angle. And the throw just short hops. I mean, you got to make sure you at least block it. It was a short hop. The first thing is don't let the ball get by you. If you get the out, it's a bonus. But once it's thrown, it's the second error of the inning, and both runners move up. And this is not the way they wanted to start this baseball game.
So the infield in with still nobody out, and a 2-1 count for Vargas. And it's fouled back to even it up.
I don't think you'll ever see Kluber throw 13 pitches and not get an out. And that's where he is at right now.
In the meantime, Minnesota the beneficiary of a couple of miscues, and they have an early 2-0 lead. Still nobody out, and Grossman down at third. And again, Vargas, for the second straight time, just gets a piece of it to stay alive. Big sellout crowd, and they are hushed.
Yeah, they're quiet, man.
Started.
This game just starting.
And the 2-2. Swung on and missed. Boy, did he really pull the string on that pitch. Vargas fooled, and that's the first out of the inning.
Well, it's a beautiful pitch. He went down and in, and looked like he had a little more tilt to it. And that ball on the inside edge, he gets the left-hander that swings through it. It's a good, very good pitch. And he finally gets his first out. Infield will remain in.
Eduardo Escobar was 0 for 4 last night. But the first time up, he drove one to the wall in right field.
Man on second base and nobody out, trying to get him over, and he did.
One ball, one strike. And Escobar falls behind in the count now, 1-2. Texas pounded the Yankees earlier today, 8-1. And Oakland roughing up the White Sox 8-2. They're in the 5th. Kansas City leads Toronto 3-2. They're in the 8th at Kauffman Stadium. Here it's already 2-0 Minnesota. Runner at third, 1 out. And the 1-2 pitch upstairs, 2-2. Jorge Polanco waiting on deck. Kluber's 2-2. Yanked foul.
Yeah, this is a tough guy to strike out. Escobar has been hot. We showed you the numbers that he's had a tremendous month of June, really turning his season around after starting off so slowly in April.
Well, it's already a 20-pitch inning for Kluber.
Yeah, that's a rarity because you look at him this year, he averages just 14.8 per inning. But errors, they hurt. That's a good pitch.
Shallow left. In comes Austin Jackson. No tag for Grossman. And there are 2 down.
Well, he has that chance, boy, to get out of here just with a 2 spot. That would be a really nice job by Corey.
Well, Mickey Callaway is going to come out and talk it over with Polanco, a switch hitter, coming to the plate. The right-handed hitting Chris Jimenez, who they know well, is on deck. Polanco's, last night was 2 for 4, a double, a home run. Jimenez did not play last night and was not in the original lineup today.
Yeah, you look at Kluber, left-handers are averaging 255 on the year, right-handers just 200. So just a little discussion going on. Corey good enough and good enough control that Mickey, he wanted to go out and see what he has to, how he feels about it.
They're going to intentionally walk him.
Okay, there you go.
And so first and third, 2 down. Chris Jimenez coming up. Intellectually, this is easy to understand. It makes perfect sense. But there's also the element that's hard to quantify, and that is, what does this do for somebody like Jimenez, who would so badly like to prove the Indians wrong right now?
Well, we heard him talk to Andre earlier. He says, I'm going to look for something up and away early in the count, hopefully a fastball, and he's going to get after it if he finds a pitch that he likes. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a breaking ball early.
There it was. And a strike. Might have been a cutter, huh?
Yeah, that's about 88 or so. That's the cutter. Slider's usually 83 to 84, 85. And that's what separates the good pitchers like a Kluber, that they can do that. They're not just going to throw that good fastball for strike 1. And there's 2 in a row. And that was his chance. It was up, but it wasn't a fastball.
A little breaking ball. And now it's 0-2. And now this crowd makes a little noise.
And with Polanco on first, Molitor may want to start him in an 0-2 count just to see what's going on. The infielders are very deep. As you figure, maybe he could also throw that fastball away too, if in case he does it.
Runner does not go. It's
yes,
down
he
low,
does.
and he took off late. And Polanco ends up with a stolen base, his 3rd.
Why not? I mean, you're going for the strikeout. They're not worried about him. The infielders are way back. It's like it wasn't even a delayed steal. He only shuffled once, and nobody was even covering. So they said, okay, you go get the hitter now. But that's why you send him. If he gets a hit, you got a chance to get 2 more.
Swung on and missed. Kluber strikes him out to eliminate the threat. But Minnesota takes advantage, and they score 2 in the first. The Indians are coming to bat. Starting lineup for Terry Francona brought to you by Progressive. Frankie Lindor will lead it off. Jason Kipnis bats second. Jose Ramirez back in the lineup today hitting third. Edwin Encarnacion, Lonnie Chisenhall, and Carlos Santana in the middle. Then it's Yan Gomes, Bradley Zimmer, and Austin Jackson hitting ninth.
Kyle Gibson, the Northern Ohio Hyundai starting pitcher for Minnesota. His last start came against the Indians back in Minnesota. He took the loss. He went 6 innings, gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, and 2 home runs, both of them coming to Edwin Encarnacion. But he hasn't beaten the Indians in Minnesota, but in his starts here, he's 2-1. Well, he has had 5 starts in this ballpark. They give him too early. Let's see if the offense can answer.
One and one to count. Right back to him. And Gibson takes care of Lindor, 1 away.
Let's take a look at the Twins defense, brought to you by W.B. Mason. And it's going to be a little mixed up because of the flu bug that Matt told you about earlier. Jimenez in left, Buxton in center, Grossman over and right. Escobar gets the start at third, Polanco at short, Dozier at second, Vargas at first, Castro doing the catching.
Chris Jimenez on the move. Jason Kipnis at the plate. Tops one to first, and it's foul. This is an Indians lineup filled with hitters who've had success against Kyle Gibson in their careers.
Yeah, the Indians have put up some good numbers against him, so you expect to see some offense today.
Jason is 9 for 18 with a home run off Gibson. .75 degrees at game time under ideal sunny conditions. Light breeze carrying out toward right center. Gibson's 0-2 offering. Softly served to left, and Jimenez has an easy play for out number 2.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This is a picture perfect day here. When's the last time we played a game with sunny blue skies and no chance of rain? This is what it's all about right here.
Quite a departure from yesterday. Cloudy and gray and rainy. Jose Ramirez came on as a pinch hitter late in the game last night and grounded out, and thus ending his 10-game hitting streak in the process. Three on the right side of the infield for Minnesota. Ramirez has bumped that batting average up to 320, moving him into the top 10 there.
I like that 11-3 hit games.
Indians go 1-2-3. It's 2-0 Twins after 1.
in your very own Derby competition in the official MLB.com Home Run Derby game. Swing for the fences as your favorite Home Run Derby All-Star. Download the App Store and Google Play.
Jason Castro to lead off the second inning for Minnesota. And a foul right back.
First inning, a couple of unearned runs allowed by Kluber. He had only one earned run all year in his first 10 starts.
Stays foul. 0-2. Kluber's 0-2 offering is in the dirt. And he comes back and strikes him out after getting ahead of him 0-2. Kluber has struck out 3 already here this afternoon. And the 9th man to bat is Byron Buxton. And Andre Knott has more on the Twins' young star.
Well, he's trying to become a star, and I asked him today a little bit about dealing with the pressure of having so many people expecting so much of him, and he said it's been a lot, but he says Paul Molitor has helped him recently, really over the last month, by teaching him how to use his legs. We saw last night late in the game when he was able to add a run on for the Twins in the 7th inning, when he was able to get a single and get around the bases with a bunt single, then move to second and third. And he says Paul Molitor has really helped him by saying, use your legs, bunt, you know, hit the ball the other way. And he really said, hey, this has taken so much pressure off of him because everybody wanted to be a power hitter and and hit doubles and home runs. And he says he feels better. Now, this is what Tito told me, and it stood out. Tito said he's going to go from a 9-hitter to an all-star because of everything else he can do so well. Tito really feels like when he figures it out at the plate, look out, because the guy has a limit for him.
Well, and what Molitor, I think Andre is trying to tell him, utilize what you have. That speed is a blessing. If you can bunt and prove, he should bunt at least once every series to try and use those legs.
Corey Kluber, meanwhile, has struck out 3 in a row and has fanned the first 2 here in the second inning.
He just locked him up and then went with the heater in.
Top of the order, Brian Dozier. Last night he swung at the first pitch and grounded out to start the game. Next time up, he did not swing at that first pitch.
Well, as a leadoff hitter, and he's done it a lot in his career, you know, you're looking for that first fastball, and if you get it, he never met a fastball he didn't like. But as a hitter, if you make it out on that first pitch, although there was an error today, you usually take, so you get a look at the next couple pitches in your second at bat.
He's in the hole, 1-2. Dozier fouls it off to the right, heading to the upper deck. And we'll try it again. 3 for 4 with a double last night for Dozier. 18 home runs against the Indians in his last in his career. 6 of them have come in his last 19 games. Oh yeah, painted the outside corner. Dozier has a beef with Larry Vanover. Corey Kluber strikes out the side here in the second. Will be taking his parent for a walk today because the Indians need something to break loose here offensively. Shutout last night on just 4 hits, and Kyle Gibson locked them up 1-2-3 in the first inning. Outside, ball 1. Even more reason to hope that Encarnacion and the Indians offense can get something going here in the second inning. Is that so far this year, when the Indians are trailing after just 2 innings at home, they're 1-11. When they have the lead at home after 2 innings, they're 9-1.
Well, after hitting 2 off him the last time he faced him, and he has pretty good numbers, 5 for 13, 3 homers and 8 RBI. He's going to be very careful with him now.
Ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Cleveland. Encarnacion is aboard, and up comes Lonnie Chisenhall. Stat of the game brought to you by Buick. Lonnie Chisenhall, left-handed hitter, does most of his damage when pulling the ball to right field, but he has used all 3 fields when he has put the ball in play. 4 hits. Now, he told us he doesn't feel comfortable driving the ball to left, but he'll get his share of hits going that way. Not sure, though, that we have seen quite as drastic an outfield shift for Lonnie as the Twins have here. Robbie Grossman is 92, probably more like 100 feet off the line in left field.
It's like the Twins listened to our comments about him. He told me last night, I told you stop telling everybody how much I hate left field. It showed up and did it to me again last night.
Well, yeah, when he hit it hard, but he also got a base hit that way. So, and it almost, he might have a chance at a double where Jimenez is playing him over in left field off the line, because he flares it that way. He doesn't drive it to left center.
Well, the good thing is he's not taking it out on the field. He talks about it, but you know what I mean? He hasn't changed his swing,
right?
And he's taking the hits, and he's laughing about it. He understands and sees what we're talking about.
Pulls that one foul.
Well, most hitters do. All you have to do is walk in the batter's box and look out and see where the guys are playing you.
Is that a bad thing to do, though? Because
what do you mean? Is it a bad thing to do? That's what you should do every at bat.
Well, some guys get it in their head and they change how they swing when they see how guys are defending them too.
Now, if you see what now, look at with 2 strikes. Look what the infield did. They just moved 3 over there, and then off goes the third baseman to shortstop, and Jimenez moves to the left field line when you get to 2 strikes, because they know he's going to pull. But if you look at it as a hitter, you should have an idea how they're going to pitch you, the way they're playing you defensively. So yeah, you can make an adjustment. If they call it getting into their head, that's, you know, they're getting into their own head, I think.
Reached for it, taps it back to the mound. Gibson the second for 1 on to first, not in time. One on, 1 out. Carlos Santana coming up.
Number 41, Carlos Santana.
Santana.
Now this is a shift we see with him daily with almost every team. 3 guys on the right side from the very first pitch. Good pitch. That had a little comeback to it on Gibson's little fastball going into the left-hander.
Carlos was 0 for 3 with a walk last night.
Gibson, a guy that averages 17 pitches per inning, but he can get the ground ball. He has induced 8 ground ball double plays.
Outfield, once again, the same alignment for Santana as that they had for Chisenhall, with really everybody pulled around toward right. It's a 2-1 Minnesota lead here in the second inning. Twins with a pair of unearned runs in the first. And he's ahead of him now, a ball and 2 strikes.
Change up there by Gibson.
Bounced that one in front of the plate. Castro with a good block. Among switch hitters in Cleveland Indians history, Santana trails only Carlos Baerga, who's in the house today, and Omar Vizquel in runs batted in. He's 19 RBI behind Baerga, for second all time among switch hitters.
Throw over there thinking that Chisenhall might run in this situation. I don't think so.
There's the payoff pitch. It's ball 4 and 2 walks in the inning. That put Indians at first and second with 1 out.
Yeah, I thought Chisenhall, he started and then stopped. But Santana has a good eye, and you know, he takes that pitch for a walk. A lot of hitters that pitch that close may swing at it. He's able to take it and get the walk, and now they're getting some base runners in the inning.
Here's Yan Gomes.
Walk there ties. No, I'm sorry. Encarnacion had one too to start the inning, so he's 1 ahead of Santana. Encarnacion gets 45. Santana gets 44.
Two balls, no strikes. Gibson's fastball unable to find the strike zone.
Well, and that's where you're a hitter. Make him you zone in. Remain patient. Make him get in the strike zone. And look at the numbers from Yan Gomes off Kyle Gibson. Very good.
Takes a strike. 9 of 18 with 2 home runs for Gomes off this right-hander. $14 balls, 14 strikes for Kyle Gibson. And Gomes able to hold up. The count is 3-1.
Well, right now, Gibson 15 balls, 14 strikes out of his 29 pitches.
And now you're looking at a situation where Gomes can really narrow his field of focus and be.
Yeah, zone in on your pitch that you know you can drive. Look for a fastball down. Well, even though that was a fastball, it was upstairs for Yan. He's a good low ball hitter. That's one you want to sort of take and spin on. You never know. It may be called a ball. And there you see this inning out of his 21 pitches, 13 balls.
Oh, really big pitch here for Gibson. And the payoff, fouled away. Gibson has allowed 4 of his 10 home runs in this second inning. His ERA is 9 on the year in the second inning. Usually you look at that first inning as being the trouble spot for a pitcher, but for Gibson, it's been inning number 2, and it's starting to bear out here today. Again, the 3-2. Rip foul. One hopped into the seats in a hurry down by the tarp. So a couple of 3-2 foul balls from Gomes. Once again, the 3-2. Double play ball to short. Ends the inning. Indians cannot take advantage of a pair of free passes, and after 2, it's the Twins 2, the Indians nothing. Afternoon. Stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Corey Kluber has already fanned 5 today, including the last 4 Twins hitters in a row. Joe Mauer drew a walk in the first, and thanks to a throwing error, he came home and scored the second unearned run for the Twins in the first. Fastball line to left, and coming in short hopping it is Austin Jackson.
Just a tough ball to read as an outfielder. He wasn't going to catch it anyway, but did a nice job of getting it on the short hop. Second hit for the Twins. You're coming in, and that ball is scorched. He started to come in, and that's why I say once you commit, keep right on coming. And he picks it nicely. So leadoff single for Mauer.
Robbie Grossman, 5 hits in his last 16 at bats on the road. Takes a breaking ball just in off the plate. Minnesota with a road record of 21-9 this year. Grossman with a shallow pop to left. Racing in, Jackson makes the catch. Time right now for Game Break with Al Pawlowski.
All right, Matt and Rick, let's head out to Kansas City, where the Royals once again come back and beat the Jays. Alex Gordon batting just .191 this year. He had only 1 hit today, but it was this RBI triple. That's the game winner. 3-2 the final. Kansas City tops the Blue Jays. They are right now just 2.5 back. Guys,
they got themselves over the 500 mark with that win today.
Kenny Vargas struck out his only time up in the first. Just about a ball width off the plate. Indians and Twins will play 2 games next year in Puerto Rico, in San Juan. It's where Kenny Vargas hails from. Foul up the first base side.
Those 2 games will be in the month of April. What is it? I think the 17th and 18th. It may be better off being in Puerto Rico than Minnesota that time of the year.
The 1-2 just missed again. Vargas, Francisco Lindor, I believe Roberto Perez were all teammates,
right,
in the World Baseball
Sandy
Classic.
Alomar. I think Rosario, who's not playing today.
The 2-2, a little low, full count. Struck him out looking. Give Kluber his 6th strikeout on the afternoon, and we're only in the 3rd.
Well, and you have another Twins hitter looking back and not agreeing with it. With Larry Vanover to Crucci, if you, let's say, certainly too close to take. He may have thought that ball was outside, but when Kluber's on the mound, it's tough to take pitches that are that close. He took one earlier, and it was called a ball.
And I said it was maybe a ball width off the plate, and I mean that looked like the same pitch.
When you prove you can hit those spots, you're going to get the benefit of the doubt sometimes.
Eduardo Escobar swings at the first pitch and bangs it off the facing of the Minnesota dugout. Chased one down in the dirt. It's 0-2. That's back foot slider. Can be devastating for a left-handed hitter.
Yeah, and then what he does this year, he's going to that changeup that sinks down on the way, goes the other way. But it's coming out of the same arm slot, and it almost looks like a fastball. And it's about at 85, 86. There it was.
Just painted it on the outside corner. 7 strikeouts for Corey Kluber. Noon, 2-0 Minnesota. We move to the bottom of the third, bottom part of the Indians order due up, and we're happy to be joined now by Greg Swindell, former Indians pitcher. And I mentioned at the top of our telecast, I can't believe this, Corey Kluber now has the franchise record. He has struck out 7 or more batters in now a record 12th consecutive home start.
He's pretty good.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
He's pretty good out there. He's throwing wiffle balls out there.
It is. It goes every which way. I know it. And he can control it too. It's not that he's wild. He doesn't walk right.
Bradley Zimmer leading off. 1 for 2 last night with a double. And he smashes one to deep center. Back is Rosario. He's out of room, and he makes the catch up against the wall for out number 1.
Just how you draw it up.
Well, he's a heck of a center fielder. Buxton wasn't even in the original lineup today.
Yeah, I had Rosario still in there.
No, he was supposed to play today, but he came sick, and then all of a sudden you put this guy in. We talked about it. You see how quickly he turned around and catches it right before he gets to the wall. Watch how fast his head turns to pick it back up. He's still got to look up into the sunshine. It's not that easy to see, but he ends up making a catch, and that's you know what, Bradley, remember that, because you're going to have to take a hit away from him sometime.
I wish Rosario was in center field today. That might have had a chance.
Good play.
Austin Jackson taking a strike. Yeah, the Twins redid their entire lineup twice before the game.
Yeah, we're here early for batting practice, and Paul Molitor, an ex-teammate, came out and he was like, I got to tell Jimenez he's playing left field now.
He didn't even know he pitches, he catches, he does just about anything.
Six times this year?
Yes, 6 times.
I don't know. Is that good or bad?
That's bad. That means that you don't have any starters left to finish a couple of games.
Hasn't happened in over 100 years where a catcher has pitched that many times.
I wouldn't think it would happen. Any position player would pitch 6 times.
Where did you play with Paul Molitor?
In Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. 97 and 98.
You were talking about Kluber, you know, like wiffle ball, watching the way he can manipulate the baseball. How much of that did you do in your career between starts? How much tinkering did you do trying to maybe make a breaking ball sweep a little bit more or work on a different pitch?
You could try all you want. You could practice all you want. I think it's just his hand strength and his arm strength. They're just so good that that's what he's able to do that.
Gotcha.
I mean, you can try all you want, but
yeah, try to slow it down or try and spin it a little harder. It just doesn't work.
But not make it look like a Vero ball. What were those things? Track ball. Just does things that normal pitchers don't do with the ball.
Well, that's the one thing Corey told me that I thought was interesting. Is he said when he first started throwing a curveball when he was in high school, he would flip it out of his hand, and the hitter could see it coming from a mile away as soon as it left his hand. And he said, I wanted to get to where Jackson lines it in the left field, a base hit. Every pitch that comes out of my hand, I want it to look the same. Did you find like that is ideal for a pitcher, where you want everything to look the same out of the hand?
It worked pretty good for Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine.
Yeah,
I mean that's what you want as a pitcher. That you want everything to look the same. Arm slot, arm angle,
arm speed,
everything needs to look the same. And the guys that do it repeat it more often are the guys that are usually the most effective.
Yeah, you hear it nowadays. Repeat your delivery, repeat this, and I mean, it's not that easy to do, is it? Because mechanically, bigger guys sometimes have a little tougher time because they get more arms and legs.
And in actuality, there's not two pitches that are the same ever. I mean, you have to come from a different angle. You can't be the same thing,
right?
But the same vicinity, the same area. Yeah, it's not easy to do.
Well, we saw Clayton Kershaw here recently and talked about Trevor Bauer. They throw more the traditional old-fashioned 12-6, breaking ball, but we're seeing more of them now. But there for a while, most of the off-speed pitchers were more the slurvy type.
And I think you're seeing a lot of surgeries from the slurvy type thing, because that's when you start to move your arm, that's the point you feel right there in the elbow from the grip. And when you come over the top, it's a little more natural than it is the slurve.
Yeah.
Well, with Tommy John surgeries, it's up more now than what it used to be. What do you think one of the reasons are for kids throwing too hard or trying to?
I think just throwing too much.
Never taken off.
Growing up, we played football or we did something.
Did another sport.
These kids might play little league, and then they might play select league, and then they're playing another league. And yeah, they might not be pitching, but they're playing shortstop, playing outfielder.
Need a break.
Arm needs a breath. A rest.
Lindor almost chased after it. He did not go. It's 2-1.
Did you ever have surgery?
I did not. I've had many since I retired.
Yeah, after you retired, right. But never a Tommy John, never shoulder issues or anything?
In 87 here, I had ligaments pull away from the bone in my elbow, and new bone formed, ligaments hardened back up with the bone.
Really? Just rest? Did the trick.
Rest and rehab, doing the weight work.
Wow. Right back to Gibson, and he's going to start an inning-ending double play. We'll stick around and talk more with Greg Swindell. We played 3. It's 2-0 Minnesota. Matt Underwood, Rick Manning, Andre Knott downstairs, and we're joined up in the booth here by Greg Swindell, who pitched for the Indians among other teams during his career. And you know, we were talking about Corey Kluber, who's coming back out here right now. When you got to the big leagues, who was there a guy that you said, okay, I want to follow this guy around, I want to pick his brain? And from a learning standpoint, who were some guys that you really leaned on?
I think a guy that pitched here, Buddy Black. We were both left-handed. I mean, I maybe threw a little bit harder than Buddy, but I wanted to learn just his pregame workout, his pregame routine, just sitting on the bench in between innings. A lot of times, I mean, I'm a young kid, you just kind of wander.
Yeah.
And at this level, you got to have a concentration all the time. You can't just let yourself roam around.
Well, there's so much you can sit and learn by watching and asking questions like that.
And when he would pitch, I would watch, and when I would pitch, I'd sit by him. So it was times like that where he kind of took me under his wing. Yeah, and just taught me how to be a big leaguer.
And he has a pretty good team he's managing this year.
Doing very well. Yeah,
I'm sure you follow him.
Oh
now.
yeah. Oh yeah.
I guess you're not surprised. He's been a successful manager for a number of years now in the big leagues. Did you have any inkling when you were playing? Did you ever look at a guy and say, that guy's going to be a coach someday, or that guy's going to be a manager, he knows too much?
There were certain guys, yes, but certain guys, no. And Buddy not being, I mean, but he was always in the game, always when he wasn't pitching, I wasn't pitching, you know, talking about how Corey's throwing and what he's throwing and the situations that you get in. And we talking to Paul Molitor, he said not in his last days did he think that he would be managing of a big league team, and it just happened. So yeah, I mean, it's great to see that his demeanor, Buddy, they have similar demeanor, just really calm and
intense too.
Right. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right, but they love the game, so you stay around it in some way, shape, or form. Because Buddy started here in the front office, you know, after he got out of baseball, and you have to try and find and carve a niche out for yourself if you want to stick around the game. It's a great game. You can spend your whole life doing something in it, as you're still doing it. You're broadcasting out of the Longhorn Network, right, where you went to college.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, it's a perfect amount of time for me. We do home games. We do 35 games. It's led to a few other things, and it keeps you in the game. And when the Cleveland brings you up here, and you get to come up here, talk to you guys, see the great people up here. I mean, today's been just an outstanding day, not weather-wise, but also just the fans have been really responsive and just saying how they, you got 35-year-olds coming up saying, I watched you when I was in high school and stuff like that. And it's like, you're 35.
You old goat. That's what they're really telling.
Yeah, greatest of all time. Goat. G-O-A-T.
God, you look young in your baseball card. Oops, I shouldn't say that.
Did you have any inkling when you saw Terry Francona when you were teammates that he would become a terrific manager?
He was a good bridge player. so yeah, a lot of strategy.
You knew, yeah,
a lot of strategy in that game. Yeah, I mean, he's one of those guys, that you would see always into the game, regardless of whether he's first, DHing, or whatever.
He often jokes about that team he played on, all the different.
What are there, 4 different managers from that team?
Well, 5 if you count Charlie Manuel, who was the coach.
Charlie was,
Jason Castro, Minnesota catcher.
You would think you could get a job in the game when you.
Well, I would think you would. What, Farrell? You could go to Boston, and you got Buddy Black. Colorado's right there. Ron Washington, Tito.
I'd love to go to Colorado.
They must not like you. Yeah, Colorado. We went there. It was nice.
It's beautiful up there.
You need to really work the phones, Greg.
I'm having
you need
fun.
an agent?
I'm having fun. I do.
Yeah, okay, I can help you out there. Absolutely. I'll take care of you, bud.
25%? What are you?
No, it's on the house, man. I want to see
take care of me. I'll take care of you wherever I go.
There you go. You know that. I've always liked that. When you were pitching, I just started to get into broadcasting. We won't go there with any of our stories.
Now the 1-2.
Hey.
Just missed.
We'll have to wait to the third out.
So how about Kluber?
Oh, he's a treat to watch every 5 days. It's one of the best in the game. I mean, he's unbelievable to watch.
You look at the first inning. I mean, leadoff hitter error. He got a throw away at third base. It's 2-0, no outs, runner on third.
Boom, boom, boom.
Bam, bam, bam. Didn't bother him, didn't affect him. That's a professional right there.
Yeah, and that's not the way you want to start out. But 2 unearned runs, but he'll throw zeros up the rest of the way until that offense finds a way to get on the board. Yeah, he's a lot of fun to watch.
2 down on the payoff pitch. Got him looking. Castro arguing with Larry Vanover, but that's 9 strikeouts for Kluber in 4 innings of work. Minnesota still leads it 2-0. Still not happy, but now he's got to set up shop right in front of Larry Vanover. 9 strikeouts for Kluber. Twins scoring 2 unearned runs in the first. The Indians have just 1 hit through the first 3 innings against Kyle Gibson. They did draw 2 walks in the second, but they banged into double plays in each of the last 2 innings. Kyle Gibson's pitch up and in, ball 1. Boy, Oakland continues to put it to Chicago. It's 10-2 A's over the White Sox.
Put a spanking on them last night, didn't they?
They're in the 7th inning in Chicago. Royals beat the Blue Jays earlier 3-2. Texas trampling New York 8-1. That's a final from earlier today in the Big Apple. Orioles Rays tied 3-3 in the 4th. There's a strike called. It's 3-1. Kipnis, Jose Ramirez, and Edwin Encarnacion here in the 4th for Cleveland.
Stand there and wait, boys. Minnesota's had their share. Now this is probably the same pitch that was called on Castro that he didn't like, but he just caught that one, so he's okay with it now a little bit more because he just called that a strike 2.
And the payoff struck him out.
Came back from 3-0.
First strikeout for Gibson.
Another fastball that Gibson's going to throw up in the strike zone, and he got the swing and miss. That one was a strike.
Jose Ramirez grounding out his only time up. In the dirt. Up and away. And that's going to be outside.
And Gibson, you know, he's falling behind. He has walked 2. He had the 1 strikeout, and that was Kip. But he has been pitching from behind.
And a foul right back. Full count. So the second straight full count. This one is hammered to deep right field. Back is Grossman. It is gone to Souvenir City. Jose Ramirez, his 12th home run of the year. It gets the Indians on the board here in the 4th. He has had simply an incredible month of June. Batting .376. That's his 5th home run of the month.
Well, 3-1, he went with a little changeup away. This time he comes fastball in, and Hosey did not miss it. That was a line drive, got out of here in a hurry. His 12th homer in 1 swing, and they're on the board.
Now Edwin Encarnacion, who drew a walk his only time up. Gibson was very careful with how he pitched to Edwin in the 2nd inning. And Ramirez giving the Indians a little jolt finally here in the 4th. It's only their 2nd hit today off Gibson. And a smash through the hole with the shift on, and Encarnacion has a base hit.
And that's what we've seen him do throughout the month of June. Is that, you know, he's taking some base hits with 3 guys over on the left side of the infield. Here he just muscles this ball inside, and it just routine grounded to second base. It gets into the outfield for a base hit. So back-to-back hits.
Up comes Lonnie Chisenhall. Lonnie was caught in between his first time up and hit a tapper back to the mound. Checked his swing here and rolls it foul. Oh, and 2. Lonnie has been surging in his last 24 games. 24 hits, 15 runs scored, 23 runs batted in. But he's in the hole 0-2.
Well, you talked about the middle part of the game. Well, here come the light towers in the shadows.
Yeah, it's
just
starting to
about
creep
the
in
middle
there.
part of the game. And we told you that's where the Indians were so good on the road. Middle part, 4, 5, and 6 is when they did a lot of their scoring on the road.
Spoiled one to stay alive. Just protecting in case. Line drive, and it gets by the shortstop Polanco. And stopping at second is Encarnacion. Off the bat, it looked like Polanco might have a chance to steal a hit away from Lonnie. But that ball was hit hard enough that it just zipped past the shortstop.
Well, he had nice quick hands on that one, and that ball jumped off his bat. You know, you don't talk about it. He drove that on the line past him. I thought he was going to take a stop and dive for it and be able to catch it, but that ball was hit too hard. So there you go, a couple of opposite field singles after the home run, and they've got 3 hits in a row and something brewing.
After being held to 1 hit the first time through the order. Now Carlos Santana, who walked in the second.
Walked on a 3-2 pitch that was up and in when Chisenhall was on first. And then he got the double play ball. He had the double play ball in the second, also the double play ball in the third.
Santana patiently waiting. It's 2-0.
Well, and he's pitching from behind. That's a tough way to go, man. That makes your day a lot tougher as a pitcher when you're always pitching 2-0, 3-1. Those hitters start shrinking their zones, and then you have to make perfect pitches all the time, and that's a hard way to go.
Soft fly ball, shallow right. In comes Grossman. 2 down. Weird looking swing on that 2-0 pitch. Injury report brought to you by the attorneys at Elk & Elk. Yan Gomes grounded into a double play in the second. That ended the inning. He bats here with 2 on and 2 out. The tying run is in scoring position. And it's a low, ball 1.
That's 5 2-0 counts now for Kyle Gibson. Gomes had that opportunity in his last at bat. Gibson was able to get him to hit into a 6-4-3 double play. But now Gomes can come right back and hurt him and tie this game up with a 2-out base hit.
Three and 0, and he's almost 50-50 balls to strikes now on the day. 36 strikes, 35 balls for Kyle Gibson. Over the outside part of the plate. And again, the 3-1 is popped up. Dozier, the second baseman. Vargas, the first baseman. Vargas makes the catch, tumbles to the turf, and hangs on. Well, Jose Ramirez got the Indians on the board, but they still trail it 2-1 through 4. Brought to you by Levin Furniture. For the best deals on furniture and mattresses, shop Levin's. And by Cleveland Clinic, Express Care online. Download it now for free.
Corey Kluber going back out. The offense did get on the board. He's going out, and Kluber, his first 4 batters faced in this ball game, he did not have a 1-0-2 or 1-2 count, but his last 12 batters faced, he certainly has had 9 of them. First pitch strikes, 8 and 9.
Byron Buxton called out on strikes his first time up. Looks at a low heater to even the count. Pulled off. 1-2. Kluber struck out 2 in the first, struck out the side in the second, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth. And Buxton is out looking for the second time this afternoon, and that gives Corey Kluber 10 strikeouts this afternoon.
Yeah, he's really settled in and locked it down, boy, and he's found the strike zone.
It's his 3rd consecutive double-digit strikeout game, and his 5th on the year.
7 of the 10 have been called.
I think that got a piece of Kluber, and Kluber able to throw out, or rather Kipnis able to throw out Dozier. And then there are 2 down here in the inning. It's a weird looking ball off the bat. Take another look here.
Well, it's like a changeup. It might have went right. Oh, it hit something and went the other way. That ball looked like he was going for his glove. He looked like he was getting ready to field it, and it hit something, or the spin on it took it the other way.
Yeah, you a spinner, could that have hit maybe a little divot out there in front of in the dirt?
I don't know, but
in the grass.
It took off. It was weird.
Joe Mauer looks at a first pitch strike on a fastball.
Mauer, last time to get a hit, so he's retired 8 straight. That was the leadoff single in the 3rd.
The only time this season that Kluber has struck out fewer than 8 batters in a game, you've got to go all the way back to April 9th against Arizona, when he struck out 4 against the Diamondbacks. Since then, at least 8 in every start. Oh, I'm sorry, there was a
his opener.
May 2nd, sandwiched in there against Detroit. He only lasted 3 innings. I don't even remember that game. That was right before he went on the DL.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, we knew something was wrong. Now that I'm thinking back to that game, we were watching it and just saying this doesn't look like Corey Kluber. Something doesn't seem right here. And he went on the DL right after. But after a month, you'd never know anything was ever wrong with him before. Just a bit low. He's punched out 10, 8, 10, 11, and now 10 since being activated on June the 1st. Out of play. Back out of play. You know, the other thing too is that first start after he came off the DL against Oakland, he went 6 innings. He only made 77 pitches in that game and struck out 10 batters.
Yeah, they were just easing them in. They didn't want to overwork him on that first start back after missing a month.
He's at 74 here in the 5th. Center field. Back goes Zimmer. He'll play it off the wall, and he plays it well. Here's a throw into second, and Mauer beats it for a 2-out double.
Well, hit the ball well and stayed on it. Whatever they talked about, pitch he wanted to throw, Mauer was ready for it. But I like the way that Zimmer went over there and he stopped. He played it off the wall and let it come back to him. So he realized he wasn't going to get there. You see how nicely he played that ball? One hop off the wall to even make it close at second base. That's an automatic double, but he made it close.
Now it'll bring up Robbie Grossman, who doubled to right off Kluber in the first inning. And the ball outside. Line to right. And Lonnie Chisenhall able to snare it. And that is a huge defensive play given the way this game has played out thus far. 2-1 Twins, middle of the 5th. Profile brought to you by Levin Furniture. Bradley Zimmer was the Indians' first-round pick just 3 summers ago. Currently riding a 6-game hitting streak. He's been good in the clutch. Fly to deep center in the 3rd. Looked like maybe he had a chance to hit one out of here, but Byron Buxton went back to the wall and made a nice catch on it.
Yeah, he took away extra base hits.
Remember that one where he went back and then crashed into the wall?
Yes. Yeah, the first trip they were in here. Yes, I do. He was playing in left center field.
Another comebacker, and that is out number 1. In-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Sloppy first, highlighted or low-lighted by some poor defensive plays, enabled the Twins to score 2 unearned runs. Only run for the Tribe coming on a Jose Ramirez home run on the 4th, his 12th of the season. Frustratingly, they followed up that home run with back-to-back singles. But then on a 2-0 pitch, Santana had a little pop up to right. Gomes grounded out, or actually popped one up on the right side of the infield, and that's been it. They just have not, for the second game in a row, been able to gain any kind of traction from an offensive standpoint. Austin Jackson had a single his first time up. To center field, where Buxton will take care of that, and there are 2 away. Andre.
Well, I've told you guys how Jose Ramirez has been using Francisco Lindor's bats. So the guys in the back figured they'd get 12 more new bats for Lindor and Jose. The way they did it, though, is 6 of them they had with Lindor's number 12 on it, and the other 6 they put the number 11 on it for Ramirez. They're the same bat. They wanted Ramirez to have his own, though, so he'd stop taking Lindor's. So what do you guys think Jose did?
He went to take Lindor's.
He took the 7. He took 7 of them, and he looked at him and he says, "Your bats are harder. Those are the woods harder on those. I want yours." So despite getting his own Lindor bats, he's still using Francisco Lindor's bats.
That doesn't surprise us, does it?
No, it doesn't. Frankie says he can't win in this situation right now. So much so that Carlos Santana took one as well.
Well, then why didn't the whole team just start ordering Lindor bats if he gets better wood?
Just write one check, right?
Absolutely.
Frankie's 0 for 2 today. Takes up high. Ramirez providing the only run of the game on a homer in the 4th. Out of play, 2-1. You think about how many times Kyle Gibson's been 3-1, 3-2.
Right.
But they have not been able to really get to him or take full advantage of those.
The same thing happened last night when they had opportunities after opportunities. They couldn't take advantage of it. You think at one time they would. That's his 3rd walk.
First since he walked a pair of hitters in the 2nd, but the double play ball bailed him out in the 2nd and 3rd innings.
Well, if you remember, in Baltimore, it happened a couple of times where the Indians went down 1-2. Then there was a play. They walked a guy. They ended up scoring with 2 outs, nobody on. And they've done that a number of times.
First time today we get some action in the Minnesota bullpen.
You know, you're going through now for the 3rd time, and Paul Molitor realizes, hey, his luck's going to run out of here quickly.
Right-hander Tyler Duffy getting ready. Jason Kipnis 0 for 2. Only strikeout of the day for Gibson came in the 4th when he was behind Kipnis 3-0, but he came all the way back and struck him out.
I think it's safe to say most of the afternoon he's certainly been, you know, behind the hitters. How many do you remember strike ones?
Well, he's basically 50-50. He's done 43 strikes, 42 balls for the afternoon.
Yeah, so 8 of the 19 hitters he has faced. Strike 1. Not a very good percentage. They'd like to see it a lot higher than that. but he's been able to dodge.
Came in with a 6.56 ERA.
Dead even. 43 balls, 43 strikes.
With 2 down, the 2-2 on its way. A fire to first instead, but Lindor A's back easily. Out of play. Mahler doesn't figure to stay with Gibson too much longer, because if you look on the year, when he gets that third time through the lineup, the batting average really shoots up. 375 against. And the Indians that second time through did have the 3 hits and scored a run against him.
Yeah, well, the guy that got him is on deck, so it'd be interesting to see what Mahler wants to do should Kipnis reach. Duffy came in last night's game, pitched 2 good innings. Had 3 strikeouts for the Twins.
And that's high, full count.
6 full counts on the afternoon. So Lindor will be off and running. Gipnis looking to see if he can plug the gap somewhere.
Boy, almost a third of the hitters that he has faced today have gone to a full count. Here is the payoff. Right field, near the line. Grossman a long run, can't get it, and it's foul. Lindor will get a big head start again at first, carrying the mail with the tying run here in the 5th inning. There he goes, and it's popped back out of play. Again, the 3-2. Lindor is off, and it's fouled back once again.
Yeah, he's working hard, man. He's making them work to get him out. Fouled off after pitch after pitch. And I would think, yes, if Kipnis reaches, no question, Duffy, he's had plenty enough time to be ready.
One more time. Outside, ball 4, back-to-back walks. And Jose Ramirez coming up.
Yeah, here comes Paul Molitor. He couldn't wait. He's seen enough. He had his chance. He gave him one last chance to get out of it, and Gibson could not after a lengthy at bat by Jason.
So the Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen is made for Tyler Duffy, and we will be right back. Thanks to the walk, they have 2 on, 2 out. Second time today that Kyle Gibson has walked 2 in an inning. And after this chain of events, he has been sent to the showers, and Tyler Duffy is on for Minnesota. Duffy has made 14 appearances this year of more than 1 inning. And in those games, he has an ERA of 1.91. On the road, lights out. 1.04 ERA in 11 road outings this season.
Yeah, it's hard to figure why the Twins they pitch better on the road than they do at home. Minnesota, pretty good park to pitch in.
Jose Ramirez homered in the 4th for the only run of the game for Cleveland. Chopped up the middle. Dozier cuts it off. The flip ends the inning. No runs, no hits, 2 left. We've played 5. It's still 2-1 Minnesota.
access to our mobile-only gates. Plus, you'll unlock special offers from our partner KeyBank and more. Visit Indians.com for more information.
Well, Corey Kluber goes to work here in the 6th inning. And he's got Kenny Vargas, Eduardo Escobar, Jorge Polanco coming up. Kluber has done his part, but the guys around him have not been able to give him that kind of support we talked about. I mean, when he gets any kind of run support, he's almost unbeatable. Up the middle, Lindor with a diving stop from a knee, throws, got him.
Wow, he did. He wasn't going to get up to his feet, Batty, this time. He knew who was running, and he says, I'll get it over there with one hop, and a beautiful play by Frankie at shortstop. He flags it down. He goes to get up, and he actually throws it from about one knee. But he's very accurate, a one hopper, and just take a base hit away. Well done.
That's the kind of defense you've grown accustomed to from the Platinum Glove winner.
Well, you know, guys that they don't get down the line like a Vargas, or your bigger guys that can't run. That's when, as a shortstop, you can go on the ground and get up and have an opportunity to make outs or throw somebody out.
Last two plays have been very, very good for Cleveland. That one keeps the Minnesota offense from starting a rally, and the running catch by Chisenhall in the 5th inning to end it saved a run.
Well, he stretched out to the max and makes the good one hop throw, and as Vargas must say, oh man, wish I was about a step quicker.
That time he finds his zone. And now full count. And the payoff. Spoiled it.
It's one thing about Kluber, even though he was down in that count 3-0, he comes back into the at bat and makes quality pitches. Not that he's just throwing it down the middle and says, here, hit me. He's on the edges still.
Got him looking. Inside corner. Ring him up. Number 11 for Corey Kluber.
That's how many he had his last start, which was a season high. Watch this comeback fastball. And 8 of his 11 have been called, so you know he's hitting his spots. He's throwing them. They're looking away. He's throwing them in. They're looking in. He's throwing them away. 11 strikeouts and still just 86 pitches after he had a rough first inning.
That'll even the count on Jorge Polanco at 1-1. hit hard to first. Santana is there. It's a 1-2-3 sixth inning for Corey Kluber, who has struck out a season-equaling high 11 batters on the day. Minnesota, bottom of the sixth inning. Let's go down to Andre.
Well, you know, we talk so much about that on that great road trip the Indians had about the emphasis on energy. And I know it's still midway through this game, and yesterday they weren't able to score, but the energy level just seems a little different for the Indians right now today. And even talking to Chris Jimenez about the Twins playing well on the road, he says, you know, the distractions are just different, and sometimes we just come to the ballpark and you don't have anything else to do. It's a little bit easier. You start to wonder if the Indians are going through that same thing on this side.
Well, energy comes from getting hits with runners on base and in scoring position, and they did a great job on the road. Since being home, they're only 2 for 22 with guys on base. They're 0 for 12 with runners in scoring position, and that makes a little energy happen. This crowd, they've had 2 good crowds here last night and now today. They just haven't had a lot to cheer about.
Well, and it's happened early too. They've gotten the crowd has been taken out of it in the first inning, really, or first or second inning of both of these games as well.
Well, a 4-run inning yesterday and a 2-run first today, and it was really just, it was ugly today.
They've watched 14 innings of baseball. They've seen 1 run scored on a one swing of the bat.
And that's it. Hitting with runners in scoring position creates a lot of energy. But they're still in the ball game. Kluber's got a 2-1 lead. He's not going to give it up.
Full count. Edwin walked in the second and then had a single in the fourth. Ripped that back foul. Head over toward the dugout and bounce over up into the seats. So the count stays 3-2. That's been the order of the day. And he popped him up.
Yeah, he was able to get inside on him there on the 3-2 pitch.
1 away. T-Mobile Unlimited Baseball Break. Seattle's put themselves back into at least wild card contention. They've won 6 in a row.
Zunino's been he's had a month of June. That should give him about 29 RBIs for the month if he had 3 last night.
Mariners still
Yes,
started the day
indeed.
11.5 games behind Houston, but keep playing like that, they could find themselves with an opportunity to find a playoff spot.
Well, they just got King Felix back, who started that game for him last night, getting some guys that were hurt for a while.
Lonnie Chisnall 1 for 2 on the day. Pop up, shallow right, second baseman Dozier, and Vargas again gets in his way. Let's Dozier take this one.
He's got to get out of the way.
2 down.
That's a routine play for the second baseman. You know, he's backing up and he's looking into the sun, but Dozier's already calling for it, and he's looking at him smiling. They almost had a little collision earlier in the game, but that time Vargas caught it and held on.
Carlos Santana walked in the second, flied out in the fourth. Santana with 9 homers on the year, 16 doubles, 1 triple.
This is the 4th inning, 2 outs. You see one's going over. Dozier ends up tripping him up. He's going to lose that battle if he's going up against Vargas, though. He's half his size.
Wasn't much in the way of contact. Vargas still went down, much like Santana goes down on strikes to end the inning. The injury lawyers at Elk & Elk. By the injury lawyers at Elk & Elk, proud partners of the Cleveland Indians. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO. By the stylish 2017 Kia Optima, and by Smart Path Forward. Lakeland Community College is your Smart Path Forward. Get started today. Well, it's a 2-1 Minnesota lead going to the 7th inning. Corey Kluber has pitched a masterful game. He has allowed 3 hits, has struck out 11. But a pair of first inning unearned runs. loom large as we roll into the later innings of this game now. Figure there's a decent chance this will be the last inning of work for Corey. Chris Jimenez, Jason Castro, Byron Buxton, bottom third of the order. These guys have combined to go 0 for 6 today with 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, Jimenez is the only one to put it in play, grounded out to short.
Jimenez knows firsthand how much movement Kluber generates on those pitches. It's one thing to tell yourself to be disciplined. It's another thing to go up there and do it.
Well, and even if you had an opportunity to catch him before, like Chris has, it's a different thing to come up and hit it.
Off balance throw and a nice scoop by Santana for out number 1.
Yeah, Santana helped him out there with a nice pick.
Second straight inning, though, Lindor has made a dynamite play to keep a would-be Twin from getting on base.
Yeah, this one he tried to throw it there all the way, and he didn't get enough on it. But in between hops, Santana picks nicely. That was not an easy hop.
One away now for Jason Castro. I think you were saying it's one thing to catch a guy, it's another thing to grab a bat and stand
try
up
and
and
hit
him.
Absolutely.
Because
you let the ball come to you.
You know where it's going.
You don't have to go hit it, and you know, and you're calling it, and you know what's coming.
Yeah.
But I even think if he tells you what's coming, it'd be tough to hit.
I was just going to ask you that if you're facing Kluber and he said, "All right, I'm going to throw you cutter in."
You'd still have a tough time because you got to get your hands out, and he doesn't throw it down the middle. For the most part, he's on the edges, even when you know what's coming. Tough to hit.
Out of play.
Well, all Corey can do is go out there and just put one more 0 up if he can, and hope his offense can go out there and score. He has been able to keep it close. Unfortunately, it was 2 unearned runs in the first inning. The error started out the game on the first pitch, then a walk, then a double drove in a run, and another error scored on a pickoff throw to third. So that's been it. They have 3 hits. He only gave up 3 hits in his last start at Baltimore. Joe Mauer has 2 of the 3.
Swung on and missed. Give him a dozen strikeouts on the afternoon.
Season high. You look at Corey Kluber, and again, we talked about that slider, and that's it right there. The slider is such a great pitch for him, and then you got a cutter, and his 2-seamer that runs away. He's had everything. And his last 8 strikeouts up before that last one were called. His first 3 went down swinging, but he's had 13 0-2 1-2 counts.
100th pitch of the afternoon is a fastball strike.
You know, that's the amazing thing. He's been pitching ahead in 0-2 1-2 counts all day long. Gibson struggled through 4 2/3 innings and only gave up the 1 run.
Popped up, back out of play. $70 out of 101 pitches for strikes today from Corey Kluber. You know, when you think about it, he should be working on a string of consecutive shutout innings right now.
Sure, he could be. Easily.
right field, down the line, and foul. Nice play. Buxton fouling it off to stay alive. Now the line and the 1-2. Almost chased after it, but no. Count evens. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
It's a good thing he did, because they would have had a tough time throwing him out with that ball just trickling that far away, having to throw it to first base if he did swing.
Very quiet, packed crowd here at Progressive Field today. Indians down a run. Kluber trying to work a 1-2-3 7th. Swung on and missed. A Baker's dozen, 13. Season high in strikeouts for Kluber. Stretch time in Cleveland. Twins by a run.
An all-star game in Miami. Fans, you can vote up to 5 times a day and up to 35 times total. So visit Indians.com/vote and cast your ballot today.
Right-hander Matt Belisle on to pitch for Minnesota here in the bottom of the 7th. Bottom third of the Indians order due up. Gomes, Zimmer, and Jackson. Indians had so far today, they have 1 single in the 3rd, a solo homer in the 4th, and 2 more singles in that inning. The only other base runners, a pair of walks in the 2nd, a pair of walks in the 5th.
Well, Minnesota's bullpen they have been roughed up a little bit this year. But yesterday they were able to go 4 innings of no runs allowed. Today they're going to have to fill Another 4 1/3. With Gibson just going 4 2/3 today, so we'll see if the Indians can come back. They've got 9 outs left.
Yan Gomes rifles one to right field, and that's in for a base hit. It's the 5th hit of the day for Cleveland, but they've got their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, Belial comes in here, and there it is, a pitch down inside, and Gomes stays on it and gets the inning started off with a base hit.
You're talking about the Twins having to cover some innings today?
Yeah.
How about Cincinnati's bullpen? Homer Bailey made his first start. Went an inning and 2/3.
Ouch.
8 runs on 6 hits.
And he started against the Nationals. Oh, well, that's not a good choice to start out.
It's now 13
wow.
to 1. Bradley Zimmer takes a strike. Twins scramble their bullpen. They've got a left-hander getting loose. That's Taylor Rogers. Zimmer sends a fly ball to left. Jimenez making the catch. 1 away. Austin Jackson is 1 for 2 on the day. This would normally be the time you'd see a manager try to protect his lead by putting his best defenders out there in the field, but I'm not sure Paul Molitor has the ability to do that with when you've got guys who are sick. They may have sent them home by now and said just don't infect anybody else with the flu.
There's nothing he can do. You're right.
I think I see Miguel Sano down there on the bench with a bat in his hand, but it's not like you're going to run him out in the outfield.
Yeah, if you're sick, you can't play. You're allergic to leather, but you like the bats. You can always hit if you give me a guy in scoring position. That's that kind of flu. It might have been Kluberitis. That's not true. I'm just saying that's not true. But you know, when you got 3 guys going down right before the game, they had to make 2 different lineup changes. You just assume that they're playing with whatever they have out there.
Yeah,
they have nothing extra.
If somebody were to get hurt, they could have really been in a tough spot. Yeah, fastball in there for a strike. Matt Belial, his season, if one were to just simply look at it on face value and say, wow, kind of an ugly year, 6.83 ERA. But in 23 of his appearances, he hasn't allowed a run.
Yeah.
But those other 7 have been ugly.
Well, that's just it. He's giving them up. And when you're a reliever, you know, you're only going to get an inning. Sometimes you match up for a few hitters. It's tough to get that ERA down when you have a couple of tough outings.
Little low. He had a game against San Francisco where he only worked 2/3 of an inning and allowed 4 runs. That's what hurts your ERA, is that pitch was low.
That's a tough one to take, though, with 2 strikes if you're Austin Jackson.
But that's that one you can't hit it anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
He may go right back out there again, though, if you're Belial. And Jackson yanks it in the left field for a base hit. He did try to go out there, Rick, but he didn't get it down that time.
See, that time I think he wanted to throw it for a strike, thinking he might get a ground ball with it, but it was elevated enough, and this guy's been swinging a hot bat. Austin Jackson got this curveball. It didn't quite get down. It was for a strike, but he stayed back nicely on it and pulls the ball into left field. So now you have 2 runners on it, back up to the top of the lineup. And this will probably be Belisle's last hitter with the left-hander Rogers out in the Twins bullpen and Kipnis on deck.
Well, once again, the Indians have the tying run in scoring position. Francisco Lindor 0 for 2 today. And now Castro wants to go out and talk it over. Gibson gets ahead, or rather Belisle gets ahead of him. I was about to say Kyle Gibson was the starter for Minnesota today. 4 2/3 innings, 1 run on 4 hits, walked 4. So he's not even the pitcher of record because he didn't get through the 5th. Tyler Duffy has that distinction after pitching an inning and a third of scoreless relief. Gibson was lifted after walking 2 batters back to back with 2 outs in the 5th. My goodness. How can this be that hard?
Well,
they just talked.
You got the tying run in scoring position. He's got him down in the count 0-2, and he wants to make sure he doesn't make a mistake here. He left a breaking ball up with Austin Jackson up at the plate, and they're going to go over it right now. I mean, this game is on the line, so he's going to be absolutely sure. Castro thinks one way, and I think Belisle is thinking the other. So they're going to talk about it. And this is, like I said, I believe his last hitter.
Here now is the 0-2, and Chopper to first. Vargas to second. There's one back to first. Not in time. Ball gets away. Here comes the tying run, and Gomes scores. So the Twins reciprocate with a defensive miscue of their own, and we are back to even.
Well, it's always tough when you've got that pitcher covering first base. I never thought that they would throw it because they weren't going to get him anyway. Lindor gets down the line very well, and even if he catches the ball, they wouldn't have had him. Lindor would have beat it out, but then the throw's got to be perfect. That's I think that's an ill-advised throw, to tell you the truth.
It's not a terrible throw, but as you said, Belisle's going one way. He's trying to reach back for it, couldn't get it. And on the air, the Indians have tied the game. We've got a new pitcher coming on when we come back. Progressive Field. Josh Tomlin facing Irvin Santana. Indians Live kicks off our coverage at 12:30. First pitch at 1:10. Swinging to Summer on Sports Time Ohio and Fox Sports Go is presented by Click It or Ticket. And a new pitcher now for Minnesota. Left-hander Taylor Rogers for the second straight day. Last night he worked a scoreless 8th despite giving up a leadoff base hit. Comes on here with a go-ahead run at first and 2 down in the 7th inning. Facing the left-handed hitting Jason Kipnis.
Well, see if the Indians can take advantage of that break that they were given. You know, on that double play ball, 3-6. If the first baseman can get back, I can see him making the throw. You don't want to make that throw to a pitcher, because he would have been safe even if he catches the ball, and that's just too much of a risk.
Lindor got a good jump, but Kipnis swung at it, fouled it off. It was the error by that man, Jorge Polanco, on the throw, which again, looking at it on the replay, it wasn't a bad throw.
You're throwing it to a pitcher. You're not throwing it to a defender, and he's on the move, and they wouldn't have had him anyway.
The 0-2.
Here's the play. You're trying to make an outstanding play. When you have the lead, you've got to make sure. Lindor would have beat it out. You see the footwork. He's not in position to make the catch. Yeah, you may see a couple throws to first base now with 2 strikes.
A little high with it. 2-2. Broken bat, roller to short, backhanded by Polanco. Here's a long throw, not in time. And the Indians keep the inning alive on an infield single by Jason Kipnis.
He went the other way. They were playing him over more so to pull, so Polanco does a nice job to get to the ball, makes the throw, and Vargas is going to have to come off the base and make sure you catch it, but they keep the inning going. An infield single for Kipnis.
I guess there's no dampening his aggressiveness, because if he throws that one away, that could have turned disastrous too. And well, he really didn't have much of a chance.
Vargas came off the bag just to catch it. Yeah. He knew they weren't going to get it out, but that's the player that he knows better.
Jose Ramirez. And really, for the first time all day, this crowd has been able to get into it a little bit here. Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Ramirez, homer in the 4th, was the only run of this game for the Tribe until they scored here in the 7th. And he chops it foul.
Well, we were talking about energy. You get a base hit here, you'll see energy. The crowd will get into it, and everybody will be pumped because they're doing this with 2 outs.
Here's the 1-1. A little high. 2 balls and a strike. little squibber off the end of the bat, foul. Edwin Encarnacion due next. If Ramirez keeps the inning alive here one way or the other, either by walk or hit. 2-2. Inside and a full count. So that means the runners will get a head start. Lindor the go-ahead run at second base. And Kipnis down at first. And finally, this crowd of over 33,000 today up on their feet. Ground ball up the middle. Dozier bobbles it. Recovers. Throws. Got him. And we'll go to the 8th. Deadlocked at 2. Is presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Two-two game now. We go to the 8th, and Cody Allen will be the new pitcher for the Indians. After Corey Kluber went 7, 3 hit, 2 unearned runs, a couple of walks. One of those was intentional, and 13 strikeouts, a new season high. Cody Allen, 28th appearance of the year.
Cody coming back for the 28th time, first time since becoming a daddy. Congratulations. We're locked up in a 2-2 tie here going into the 8th.
He's got the top of the order due up. Dozier, Mauer, and Grossman. Two balls, no strikes.
Cody, a nice job against Dozier so far in his career.
Fastball in there. Cody has 9 saves against Minnesota in his career. No wins. They've hit him with a couple of losses. .3-1 pitch. In the air, foul. Lindor gives it a look, can't get there. But in this situation for Cody Allen, if he works himself a scoreless inning, gets out of this, and the Indians were to rally, he could be in line for a victory. High fastball drilled deep left and gone. And Minnesota takes the lead. The old Dozier high fastball, the pitch he absolutely loves, goes for his 13th home run of the year.
Well, that didn't take long, did it? He got the count in to back to full, and then there's that fastball up and in. You see him pulling the hands. He was looking at it the pitch before that. But boy, it goes right down the line and gets out of here. And Minnesota right back on top with only their 4th hit. Cody giving up his 3rd home run on the year.
Joe Mauer takes ball 1. Gomes goes out, sensing frustration on Cody's part after surrendering the lead on the home run. The first guy he faces. Joe Mauer. He walked in the first and came around and scored on the throwing error by Yan Gomes. Since then he has singled and doubled.
Yeah, the last time Cody pitched in a game was back in Minnesota on the 18th of June. So you might think he might not be as sharp as normal.
Up and in. And a walk to Mauer. So 1 on, nobody out. And Robbie Grossman coming to the plate. Baltimore is pulled away from Tampa. 8-3 Orioles. They're in the 8th down in St. Pete. A's beat the White Sox 10-2 in Chicago. Royals over the Blue Jays 3-2. They've gone over the 500 mark now. Yankees beaten by the Rangers 8-1 this afternoon. Grossman with a bunt. Cody will take the out at first. And on the sacrifice, Mauer is in the scoring position.
Well, Minnesota, that's the first pitch of the ball game. That throw brings Santana off the bag, and then the double down into the corner. He's going to score a run, and then you're going to see another error. That's 2 errors in the inning. Both those runs it scored by Minnesota. Unearned runs, and it held up until the 7th inning when Minnesota's error ended up letting Cleveland tie it up, and then Minnesota comes back, and the first hitter after they tied it up hit a home run to take the lead again.
Have to talk to the guys later and find out if it was the throw that brought Santana off the bag or if Santana brought the throw off the bag in that first inning. is definitely an odd looking play. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2 on Vargas.
Right now, Cody grinding away to keep it a one-run ball game. Escobar, hot hitter on deck. Although not many hitters were hot against Kluber today, as he had 13 punch-outs, 8 of them called. Corey had 14 swings and misses. He was unbelievable once again today.
Time called. Vargas with a foul right back. This is for the most part when Cody Allen has been at his best. Batters so far this year 4 for 30 with a runner in scoring position. And a slow chopper to second. 2 down.
Well, you might want to bring the family to the ballpark tomorrow. It's going to be KeyBank Kids Fun Day after the ball game. You can stick around. Kids get an opportunity to run the bases. That is presented by Cleveland Clinic Children's. Just visit Indians.com for the tickets.
Eduardo Escobar 0 for 3 in the ball game with a couple of strikeouts. And a strike over the outside corner, much to the chagrin of Escobar. Chased one in the dirt. Had a piece of it. It's 0-2. In the bottom of the 8th, it'll be Encarnacion, Chisenhall, and Santana due for Cleveland. In the air, shallow left. Jackson back a few strides, makes the catch. Inning over. Brian Dozier got on top of a high fastball for the umpteenth time in his career, and it's now 3-2 Minnesota. in from left field to take over at first base. And Eddie Rosario, who was in one of the original starting lineups today, but then scratched with the flu, has come into the ball game in left field.
Talked about it earlier, and I guess he's okay enough to go out there and play some defense. They need 6 outs.
Edwin Encarnacion leading off for the Indians, down a run. He is 1 for 2 with a walk and a single this afternoon. Taylor Rogers got the final out of the 7th. Staying on the pitch here in the 8th, and the count evens at 1-1. Just missed outside.
Encarnacion's base hit went right over the second base, or right in the second base hole. They had 3 guys on the left side like they do right now.
Taylor Rogers, another one of those players who was drafted out of high school, but it was a late round pick, 37th round selection by Baltimore in '09. And then 3 years later, he went up to the 11th round, and that's when the Twins drafted him and signed him up. Outside. That's he came out of the University of Kentucky to sign with the Twins. Upstairs, ball 4. Tying run aboard to start the inning. And now Terry Francona will send Lonnie Chisenhall to the plate. 1 for 3 on the afternoon. Recapping the storylines brought to you by Mazda. Kluber was dazzling, but very little support, especially on the defensive side of things early when Minnesota jumped to the early lead.
Well, once again, that walk. Can they make it hurt? That's the 5th walk by Twins pitching today, and that's how they pitched Edwin when we were in Minnesota. They were very careful, and he still had a good series there as far as homers go.
Daniel Robertson is stretching and getting loose. If Encarnacion gets into scoring position here, Terry Francona might go for a pinch run situation. Blew it by him. 1-2 the count. Taylor Rogers of Minnesota has a twin brother, Tyler. And he's a submarine style pitcher in the Giants organization.
From the right hand side, huh? Submariner. Taylor and Tyler.
Sure no one ever got them confused.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Chisenhall, 1 away.
Well, you're going to see the big breaking ball right there. The swing by Lonnie comes up empty. That stayed up. Had a chance to hit it, but then again pulling off that breaking ball. Swings through it.
Carlos Santana 0 for 2 with a walk. Line drive caught.
Oh man, how did he catch that one?
2 down.
Now remember, Chisenhall hit one last time up that he was able to get a base hit in the 4th inning. This one was hit just as hard, but he stabbed this one and it stuck in his glove. I mean, he was outstretched. What a great catch. And it robs a hit away from Santana. But it is out number 2.
And up comes Yan Gomes, 1 for 3 on the day with a single and a run scored back in the 7th. First pitch strike. And a count quickly 0-2. Lays off the high fastball. Two down in the bottom of the 8th. Indians down a run. That tying run at first base. And Yan Gomes down on the count 1-2. Fouls it back. Strikes about to end the inning. 8 complete, 3-2 Minnesota.
Twins lead the Indians. Welcome back to center field along with Jensen Lewis. I'm Al Pawlowski. Today the Indians, boy, they got some outstanding pitching from Corey Kluber.
Hi there.
7 innings, 13 strikeouts, a season high. How about that?
No, you can't see me, and the Indians can't seem to get a big hit with runners in scoring position. 0 for 14 now in 2 games thus far, and they're going to have to find a way to claw back and keep this deficit at 1.
All right, join us for Indians Live after the game. It is brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care.
Rick, Al needs sunglasses down
I'm
here.
gonna send out some sunscreen, some sunglasses.
Yeah.
Al, watch out, man. I don't want you to get burned.
We need Andre to set a pick right here, a human shield.
Send me the flip downs.
Zach McAllister will pitch the 9th for Cleveland. Jorge Polanco to lead it off, and a low fastball, 1-0. Cody Allen worked the 8th. Gave up the lead on a home run by Bryant Dozier. Out of play to the left. In the air to right field. Monty. 1 down.
Not coming on for the 26th time. 1-0. 243. Needs 2 more outs. They'll be facing Jimenez and Castro.
McAllister in his last 7 games has pitched the equivalent of a complete game. He's gone 9 innings. He's given up 6 hits, not allowed a run, a couple of walks, 9 strikeouts. The irony in that is that he once was a starting pitcher, but just never really was able to put it all together in the form of a starting pitcher. And a big reason for that was just the lack of being able to develop that good secondary pitch, that breaking ball. Popped him up, back, and out of play. But when you've got a guy that can throw mid to upper 90s with his fastball, you put him in a bullpen and just let him come out and throw heat. And as time's gone on, he's developed better feel for that breaking ball, and at times it's very, very effective.
Well, that's exactly what Chris Jimenez was talking about today. When you get, and it doesn't matter just because Corey Kluber was the starter, any pitcher, get the count in your favor. You're looking for a fastball a little bit out over the plate that you can handle. He had one right there and he fouled it straight back. Those are times when you have to hit the ball and put it in play. And not easy to do when you're not playing every day.
That fastball is hit a ton. Up into the bleachers for a home run. Chris Jimenez, his 4th of the year.
Well, he just fouled one straight back and had a good swing on it. And they come right back with a fastball. I want to see the location of that pitch, but Jimenez, he made an adjustment and he was able to hit that one and put it in play and hit it out of the ballpark. So there's an insurance run for Minnesota today. Solo home run in the 8th. And then there it is. That one was down a little bit more, right into his wheelhouse, and got enough of it to hit it out of here. For Jimenez, his 4th homer.
Jason Castro 0 for 3, 3 strikeouts on the day. Strike call. A little tardy, and it's 1-2. Center field, Bradley Zimmer makes the catch, and there are 2 down.
The batter now for Minnesota is the center fielder, Byron Buxton.
Byron Buxton 0 for 3, and he has struck out all 3 times today.
Started him off breaking ball, dropped it in there for a strike.
That fastball finds the strike zone. He gets ahead of him 1-2. Bradley Zimmer, Austin Jackson, Francisco Lindor due up in the bottom of the ninth for Cleveland. The 17th pitch of this inning for McAllister. He's thrown 10 strikes. Ball outside.
Yeah, this is the guy you want. You don't want to bring Dozier to the plate again.
Fastball hit to third, and Ramirez will throw him out. For the second straight inning, the Twins launch a solo homer to the bleachers and left, and they now lead it 4-2 going to the bottom of the ninth. Seven, struck out a season high 13 and was tagged with 2 unearned runs.
Well, the first 3 strikeouts were swinging, and then the next 8 were all looking. He had such movement on the pitches today. He was getting the calls. The hitters didn't agree, but he was tough. And then his last couple were all swings. So 13 on the day, a season high, and he was just unhittable. Only 3 hits again, his second straight start where he's allowed 3 hits. So 6 hits in his last 16 innings.
Brendan Kinsler will come on and try and earn his 20th save of the year for Minnesota. And he's got bottom part of the order for the Indians. Zimmer, Jackson, and Lindor due up.
Minnesota looking to win their 3rd game here. Or excuse me, their 4th game here out of 5.
Check swing foul. Bradley Zimmer 0 for 3 today. Fly to deep center in the 3rd. Comebacker in the 5th. Fly to left in the 7th. Get a man aboard, you get the tying run to the plate. Missed outside. The Indians do not have a come from behind win this late in the game.
Well, you gave the number earlier in the game about at home.
Yeah.
You know, after 2 innings, if they're winning, what are they, 9-1?
Yep. When losing, they're 1-11.
1-11. So
after 2 innings,
that's incredible, isn't it?
Why should that matter?
They haven't had the the makeup here. They haven't had the base hits for whatever reason. It's hard to figure out. They go on the road, they're like a different team. Can't figure it out.
Twice today, the Indians have had 3 hits in an inning. And in both instances, it generated 1 run. One of those was on a solo home run by Ramirez.
Well, maybe that is something that can get this team going. They need something like that to give them a little spark or come from behind if you're down by 2. Get that leadoff man aboard and anything can happen.
High fly ball, right field. In comes Grossman. 1 down in the bottom of the 9th. Well, Austin Jackson, who has been one of the really bright spots for the Indians of late, and they've had many of them, picked up his 1,000th career hit earlier today. 2 hits in the ball game. Low ball 1.
Yeah, his approach this year since coming back after he had that toe injury, he's been locked in. He's had a great approach at the plate, basically playing against left-handers, but he's seeing it so well now. He's putting up great at-bats against righties as well. Not that he couldn't. He's just getting the opportunity now with Brantley on the DL, and he had a great road trip, and he's 2 for 3 today.
Nicked him with a fastball. 3-0. All you need is a base runner.
Yeah, the patience. He's been a very patient hitter. He's swinging at strikes. You can tell he's seeing the ball well when he takes some pitches that are in this last at bat before he got the base hit. The curveball, it was right there, the teaser pitch he didn't swing at. Then he made him bring that curveball up and he got the base hit. So now he could take a couple here. You need a base runner.
Kinsler gets a fastball over for a strike. Slow chopper to short. Polanco throws him out. 2 down. And we'll go to the top of the order. Francisco Lindor trying to keep the Indians' hopes alive. Down low, ball 1. Lindor 0 for 3 with a walk back in the 5th. drive left center. It's in the gap. That's going to go to the wall. Lindor into second base with a 2-out double.
Keep it alive.
And the tying run will come to the plate.
Keep it alive, and he did. He plugs the gap in left center field, and that was a nice pitch. It had some movement going down on the way. Frankie stayed on that ball and just hits it into left center field. He will get his 21st double and keep this game and give the Indians hope. Now, if Kip can reach, get that base hit, you've got your best hitter on deck.
Looking for their first hit in the series with a runner in scoring position. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Kipnis. Low ball 1. Up high, 2-0. Liner to center field. Buxton with a dive and a catch, and the game is over. Minnesota wins it by a final score of 4-2. Nice diving play by Buxton to end the ball game as Kipnis made a bid to try to keep it alive for the Tribe, but this guy in center has tremendous speed, and watch him close the gap.
Well, you know, the thing of it is, too, they're playing deeper because they're in a no doubles defense, so he's got to get the good jump, come on, and we saw him make one at the fence today and take a hit away from Zimmer, and he takes a base hit away from Kipnis right there to end the ball game.
Well, Minnesota with the win goes to 38-34. And they have closed the gap to a half game on the Indians in the Central. Tribe's record is now 39-34. Winning pitcher will be Taylor Rogers. He's 4-1. The save to Kinsler, it's his 20th. Cody Allen suffers the loss and falls to 0-3 out of the bullpen on the year. Well, look, it was Chris Jimenez who a week ago said we got to punch the bully in the nose, in the mouth. But it was the Indians who went into Minnesota and beat up the Twins. But here this weekend, it's been a complete role reversal. Minnesota has been able to score early, kind of take the crowd completely out of the first 2 games of the series. And they're 2-0 going for a sweep.
And one reason why they played so well, they have 22-9 on the road, is that pitching. You know, they pitch better on the road. Look at the Indians, 2 runs today. They shut them out yesterday. You're going to win when you give up that kind of runs in somebody else's park. They were able to do it 2 straight games. And by the way, you're going to face their best tomorrow in Santana. They haven't had to face them yet. So if the getting was good, you should have done it on Friday or today, because Kluber pitched great. So they're going to have their work cut out for them, and Minnesota's going to try and return the favor tomorrow with a sweep.
It's hard to put this one on the bullpen because of how poorly the offense performed, but a lot of people are going to look back and say this was the play of the game. The Pat O'Brien Chevrolet play of the game. Cody Allen facing Brian Dozier.
Well, its first 2 were unearned runs, but then after the Indians tied it on an unearned run, here's Dozier. The very first hitter got himself a 3-2 fastball high. He loves that pitch, pulled it down the line, and gave him that lead. They were able to add 1 more, and that's going to be our Pat O'Brien play of the game.
And that's going to be it for us. We'll be back tomorrow with the series finale. Until then, stay tuned for Indians Live with Alan Jensen next.